Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Flea and I are back as we continue to look into horror anime with Death Note. An intelligent high school student goes on a secret crusade to eliminate criminals from the world after discovering a notebook capable of killing anyone whose name is written into it. Welcome back. Here we are back again.
Thank you, thank you. Sorry for the delay last week.
No dramas. Life. Pesky old life, eh?
It's life chucking lemons, and one of them knocked me out. But it's good to be back and back watching Death Note.
God, this is I've forgotten half of this, to be honest.
It's a long time since I've watched Death Note.
There's a lot going on in this, and the plot is getting more twisted and turned, and there's all sorts going on with this. And it's not in a hurry.
I'm gonna say it's not one of those anime that you have to watch in a rush. I think it's one of those where watching it one episode at a time every week actually gives you time to work out what's going on. Because it's very subtle in some places, and very unsubtle in others.
But obviously, these episodes now we have been introduced to Misu, who we have now discovered is the second Death Note wielder.
She's also the best girl in the series. As long as you keep her at arm's length.
Yeah, and hope she never notices you. Yeah, we've got her sort of leaving her cryptic journal entries, and the last time we left this off, L basically was floored by the fact that there might be Shimagaze in the world that might actually exist.
He seems to have lost that fear.
Yeah, he's sort of gotten over it. I think he's written it off. He's went, nah, it couldn't be. I was just having a moment of hysteria.
But it's... I like Misa. I kind of wish they'd done more with Misa.
Well, I haven't quite finished with it, you know what I mean? It's still, excuse me, a major part of this. I think they're kind of building up for her, but yeah, like basically he decides he's going to go and find the second Kira, who he doesn't know obviously at this point is Misa.
Because she leaves the cryptic note with hints. It's kind of like it is, isn't it? It's a diary, a journal entry, and it's like she leaves a number of clues of certain notes of like certain places and certain dates where something is going to happen.
Yeah. So that we've got, while this is all happening, we've got this like game of 4D chess. You know, obviously there's Light versus L. And it's if I do this, he'll think that I think that in this bit's all still going on. You know, if I carry out this action, would he be expecting me to carry out this action? So if I do the opposite of this reaction, would he be expecting me to do the opposite of this all this 3D, you know?
Oh yeah, I like it because it's kind of like L versus Light and Light versus everyone else. And Light is obviously winning.
Now we've got this sort of chaotic factor of the second Kira come in. This is cool. The way he just decides, right, I'll bring a detective with me, pretend he's my cousin, and we'll just go out on a road trip with a bunch of students.
Who are these? Oh, they're my friends from college. It's like we'll blend in more with these guys here.
That's something we don't see. It's surprising when he brings friends or shows that he has friends. Because I think throughout this episode, we just see him in his private moments in his bedroom.
Yeah.
We don't see him socializing.
Just him and mute. But the thing is, like, it's Light. Are they friends? Or are they just kind of like tools that he's using to an end?
Oh, he's using them, but what I mean is you don't even get to that point unless you put the effort in. I mean, you have to like socialize. You have to know people's
Oh,
names.
I see. So it's like we only see him as like the villain. We don't see him in his he's doing his day to day.
Yeah, but don't see him in the charming mode. That's something like even the fact that he managed to bring that girl last time on a date, and she really wanted to go on one. That what I mean, but don't see that side of him. It's only like instances like this that he's able to pull people out of a hat. You're sort of like, where's this coming from? And we sort of forget all the other moments of him interacting with people in school because we only see him when he's on his own or he's with Ryuk or now going to the police headquarters. So this guy must not sleep very much.
I have no idea. He's such a weird character. I think that's one of the things that makes him like such a good anti-hero is the fact that he is such a weird, intense character.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you never see him drop his guard down. I mean, even when he's going like, "Oh, these are my friends from college. Come on, let's go and have a foot." You know, it's a mask.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's wearing a mask. Because it's like he'll be doing something perfectly normal, and then something will say something. You just kind of see the glint in his eye, and his eyes narrow behind his fringe.
Mm-hmm. I think the only person he is honest with is Ryuk.
Yeah.
The only person he lets his guard down with and we see his personality is with Ryuk.
He's his partner in crime, though, isn't he? No, I'll save that bit for the relevant time. But it's like he's literally he's his partner in crime. He is the only person who knows what he's doing. And I often think the only reason Ryuk exists in this is to give someone so that Light can explain his plans to, so that everybody can understand what he's doing.
Yeah, he's the exposition device.
Yeah, he's a great little exposition device. But it's like, right, listen, is she totally crazy or is she smart crazy? I mean, it's like when she's talking about Kira, or later on Light, when she finds out who he is, she's completely off the rails. But when she's planning stuff and doing stuff, she seems incredibly capable.
She's actually very similar to Light.
She's got everything figured out.
Her whole persona is a bubblehead.
How much of that
model? She plays the goth chick. She's, she's her whole persona. Like Light has actually, this is a good example. We don't see Light's charming, happy-go-lucky, persona he puts on for public. It makes people like him.
Yeah.
On the other side, but don't see Misu's cold, calculating, methodical side.
You get, I think in one of the past episodes when she asked Rem, her Shinigami, how do you kill a Shinigami? You see little glimpses, little teasers of her serious side, but it's like it's there for a moment and then it's gone. It's the same with Light, if you think, because there are a few scenes where you actually see Light interacting with the various class members and people at the college he goes to. But it's just a glimpse.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that the two characters are held as almost opposites.
It's opposite but similar. It is a strange one. But the cool thing was this: that she actually goes to the trouble of disguising herself and lays the trap, and Light walks right into it.
That is it's such a great trap. But of course, he doesn't know that she has the Shinigami eyes.
Hold on, did he? No, she does.
No, yeah.
When the second Kira put out the remember the second Kira put out the TV broadcast, we can discuss. I know you don't have the eyes. Maybe we can show our Shinigami. That's the bit where L flipped his lid. So he
But it's like,
does
what?
know, but he never
Yeah.
factored that into
Oh,
his
yeah. That's the bit. It's like
because he doesn't understand fully how they work.
when someone with Shinigami eyes looks upon when someone with Death Note with Shinigami eyes looks on someone else who has a Death Note, they can't see the date of their death above their head. That's it. That's it.
Light doesn't know that, and
No.
Ryuk doesn't know that.
Yeah, but
That was actually the clever bit that Ryuk didn't know that either.
Ryuk says that, but is he telling the truth?
No, I think he is because don't forget, Ryuk wants to be entertained. And this is like, wow, I didn't know that. This is, when this is all fascinating to him. He is watching this all play out. And the fact Ren's got involved as well. And then he's like, oh, I didn't know that about the Death Note. This is like if you think of an eternal being, think of not Castlevania, Vampire Hunter D, brooding Count, what's his face?
Oh yes,
sits on the throne, been there, done everything. There's nothing left to surprise me.
I'm
think
bored.
of Leto. Think of Leto the second. Think of Leto the second.
Yeah.
I say nothing surprises me. They want to be surprised. So just that tiny revelation, that would be like being in the desert, absolutely quenched with thirst, and somebody just ringing a flannel and getting a drop of water. At that moment, it would be like the most satisfying thing ever. So the likes of Ryuk all of a sudden finds something out the Death Note he didn't know. New information, something surprising in a otherwise dull drum existence. This is gold for him. This is the whole reason he came to Earth. This is the whole reason he dropped the notebook in the first place. You could see his excitement. He's loving this.
Are you not entertained?
So yeah, in that case, I do believe Ryuk didn't know that either. And I do believe that he's absolutely loving the fact that this is all happening. None of this has ever happened before with a Death Note being involved.
The first thing that went through my head is like, is he telling the truth? Because we know there's a lot of stuff that he hasn't told Light.
No, but I think he'd be the type that would go, "Oh yeah, I knew that, but I didn't tell you," because he's done that before. He's been obvious. Yeah, I'll know stuff, but I'm not going to tell you because that's sort of the banter between them.
Yeah, that's where my mind went straight away.
No, I think because he actually got excited by the fact that he found out something now.
He's really hard to read because he's always got that massive grin on his face.
But that's his mask as well. Even between him and Ren, it's not like those two won't go off together and have like conversations. They're all guarded against each other. That's actually a bit of an insight into Japanese culture. What is it to call it? The four walls or something? Or your three selves? Your outward self, your family self, and then your inner self. Is that what they say in Japanese culture? You've your outward self that you present to the general public. Then you've got your inner self that you only present to your close friends and family. But then you've got your inner, your actual inner walls, your personal self, which you reveal to no one.
I know what you're saying, but I can't remember it perfectly off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's something like that. So this is actually we're actually watching this aspect of culture getting played out, which is I don't know if it's intentional, but it's so subtle, if that makes sense. This is an aspect of Japanese culture that, everyone has a facade. You might drop a bit of it in front of your closest, and trust it, but you never drop it fully. And we're seeing this being played out in this series, and you'll never know who's being. I don't think anybody's ever going to be true with anyone else. Not fully, anyway.
I agree with that.
But it was cool when she was figuring, basically looking at it, and she twigs on who it is, and then she sees Moon Yagami, sorry. So technically, Light's name's actually Moon, but it's pronounced Light or said Light.
Yeah, that is something. That is something the Japanese do. It's like they will give you a name and then just pronounce it differently from the way it's written.
Mm-hmm.
Good example: Sapphire Kawashima, who is from a totally different anime,
Mm-hmm.
whose name is actually pronounced as Green and Sparkling. Poor girl, her name is literally Green and Sparkling, but you pronounce it Sapphire, as in the English sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
To which people turn around and go, "Why green? Sapphires are blue." So, being a sensible girl, she insists that everybody call it Midori, which means green. Poor girl. But anyway, back to topic.
Yep.
So yeah, we have Misa, who now knows exactly who Kira is, and being the impatient type, decides to go and introduce herself.
Like, just straight to his house, no messing about.
It's like, that's it. Whoosh. There's proactive, and then there's proactive.
Another psycho stalker, you mean? Because she doesn't even know who she is. She looks him up, you know what I mean?
No idea who this guy is, but now I know his name. Oh, it's pronounced Light. And it's like not a few moments before, because Light's mum is like, "It's late. Where have you been?" And he's like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I've got a girlfriend." And then it's like, not moments later, a blonde goth comes knocking on the door. But not any blonde goth, a famous blonde goth.
Yeah, because the sister twigs on who she is.
Mm. Then is introduced to our viewers Misa, the teenage model icon, who's appeared in fashion magazines, etc., across the world.
I'll be honest.
And the second Kira. Yeah.
I'm a bit like Light in that respect. He never twigged on until like his sister told him. I'd be like, "That you're a who? What?"
Yeah.
Like, no interest in general pop culture. I really don't.
Yeah, Light doesn't look like the kind of guy who like reads fashion magazines,
or into the schoolroom gossip and stuff. That's what I mean. It's once again back to the thing that the fact that he shows that he can bring people together as friends or go on dates we don't see any of that side of his personality. We see the sullen, borderline psychotic,
He's obviously like the cool guy in his class, yeah, because everyone wants to be friends with the cool guy. But how much of that coolness is just the fact that he's really smart and apparently incredibly good looking?
It's a difficult one because, God, I've known a lot of smart people over the years, and they tend to not be the cool person. Because usually the studious ones are like the nerd types, and
yeah, we're the nerds, we're the geeks. It's like we're not cool. We're only cool to like birds of a feather flock together. A nerd is only cool to another nerd.
And to be honest, that's the side we see of him. That sort of, slinks in, sits in his room on his own, spends hours on the computer or studying. If he's not doing that,
Yeah.
he's looking up. I don't think we're getting an appreciation of the other side of him because we don't really see that, and maybe we're not meant to in this show. Maybe we're not they don't want to confuse us as to who this is.
Yeah.
Where if they
'Cause I mean,
showed the charming side of him, then we would get confused.
if he didn't, I mean, if he didn't make the effort to like be friends with people, if he just like showed that he didn't care, couldn't care less, he'd just be another L.
Yeah.
Because it's like L doesn't have kind of like that charming side to him. It's like
L doesn't put on the persona.
Yeah, he never changes no matter where he is. It's like he doesn't smarten himself up. He doesn't try to be friends with people. He's downright rude most of the time because he just doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Light has that Light at least cares a little bit to keep that persona in case he when he goes to it wasn't Akihabara. Damn it! When he went with the detective to look for the second Kira, he needed friends to make it look more. Well, he needed friends so that while he was out there, should second Kira see the fact that they've got a Shinigami following him, they wouldn't know exactly who he was following because there's a crowd of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which was his whole reasoning, which is why he was shocked when she turned around and said, "I know you're Kira." Lovely girl.
Yep.
Totally bonkers.
Absolutely. And yeah, you don't bring that into your bedroom, whether you're going to do anything with it or not. You just don't do that.
It's like just stay there. I'll talk to you through the window.
Yep. Get the portcullis.
She's only slightly insane.
That's
Can't decide if I feel sorry for Light or not because I can't see it getting any better for him.
No, but also, once again, because we're seeing that we see the dark side of him, he doesn't really make you think sympathy, does he?
No, he doesn't. It's like the fact that she's like, oh my god, she reveals, she reveals the fact that right, one of the people he killed right at the beginning of this is the person who murdered her parents, and that is the reason she loves him is because justice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, quite a firm handshake and a thank you would be enough, I think. But Misa,
no, she's not going to go that way. Oh god! Then we're on the Friend, the episode Friend. How does they all put away that much sugar and not be dead already?
Have you seen his eyes? Are you sure he's not dead already? He's kind of like, it's right, but they say in one of the later episodes, it's like, have you ever seen, when does this guy sleep? And he's like, oh, I saw him asleep in exactly the same position he sits in not long ago. I think the reason he doesn't sleep is because he doesn't have to sleep because his body is 95% sucrose.
Yeah, like how's that even passing through his system? Like his bloodstream would be like sludge.
I feel so sorry for his kidneys and pancreas. It's like, well, like chugging diabetic medicines, but it doesn't show you that bit. God, it's like, how's that guy not peeing treacle? Well, yeah, it's kind of like, if it's not ice cream, it's cake. If it's not cake, it's coffee with like 10 or 12 sugar cubes in it.
He's definitely operating like close to burnout mode. Like he's going to get taken out by a stroke. Like Light won't have to take him out. He's going to have a stroke before he's.
I'm I'm expecting someone to turn around and say something and do something, and he's just going to collapse on the floor. Because it'll be like, nope, does not compute, falls over.
Yep. And then we'll have this thing where Light's current girlfriend is getting
Gotta be honest, I wasn't even aware that, I may have missed it, I wasn't even aware that Light had a girlfriend.
She's technically not his girlfriend, but that's the one he's been dating. You know, he brought on the date and stuff with Hannibal.
Yeah, but
and he's been stringing her along.
Isn't that gonna that's kind of gonna cause? It's kind of like that's going to cause trouble. We know it's going to cause trouble. From things that have been said, we know it's going to cause trouble.
Yeah, but once again, this is the side of him. We don't see him cultivating this relationship. Like, if he was, because he comes across in his private moments, like, basically, he's L Mark II. He's just not far gone, you know, that side is L, but we don't see the bits where he's like, why is she still hanging on to him? He must have given her some sort of hope. He's obviously spent time, you know, keeping her in with him, and not just because if he was completely aloof and, you know, not.
It's got to be his cover to keep people from expecting that suspecting that he's Kira.
Mm-hmm.
It must be, but the thing is, it's like the only person he's trying to fool already suspects he's Kira to the point where there's no other explanation.
L has nobody else on his radar. That's just the way it is.
Got to be honest, the things that have been revealed and the way things have happened, there's nobody else who could possibly be Kira.
No, but then this is how it progresses. There's a whole, that's what these episodes are about, is actually how to then the need to create somebody. This is where it goes a bit mad, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got
5D chess.
Yeah, they're right. There are times when this anime has made me twitch because it's kind of like, it's right there. Just open your eyes. I think the problem is the amount of sugar he's having is kind of like clouding L's thought processes.
He's having the trouble because he just knows it's L. He just knows it's Light. And the fact that no other alternative is presenting itself.
I think the problem is lack of conclusive proof, isn't it? Because you can't just turn around and say like then you need evidence, and Light leaves nothing behind him.
Every trap that's been laid, he's managed to spring and get out of it. But he's about to dabble. It's always the same clever people. He's about to start dabbling with two-timing women, and that's don't see many. I've yet to see the book that survived that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting until Misa cops a load of his college girlfriend.
Or one of the
my money's on Misa.
One of the two is going to twig on to the other one, like, and it's
I honestly think it's going to be Misa because Misa is
the main character.
Right. It's not.
I can't even remember the name of the other one.
Mysterious Girl with Glasses B, because Mysterious Girl with Glasses A was Misa when she was undercover.
Yep.
I don't think it's just like, this is why I called her college girlfriend. I haven't got the foggiest idea. She's just like a background character we've seen maybe once before.
Once before in the bus. That's what I
But
mean. We don't
it's
get any time in this show to see that side of him. That's why I was bringing it up, because all this is going on in the background. We don't see it. All of a sudden, he's friends. He's got this. He's got that.
yeah.
And you're like,
I understand. I understand it's focusing on the plot, but I do think this anime it'd be a hell of a lot longer, but it'd be slightly more coherent if it actually had like things that were happening in the background in there as well.
yeah, you need to see Light put with his persona. Like even the tennis match.
Yeah.
The fact that the whole university went and oh, it's Light and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard it is to cultivate friendships. You have to put effort and time. You just don't take friends for granted.
No.
And I'm terrible at, I'll never ring people randomly. I'm just not that sort of person. And I'm not the, hey, every morning, I'm not one of those people either. I'm terrible at that sort of
Welcome.
stuff.
Welcome to the club.
I have to genuinely put an effort in to keep in touch with people, because it's just, I'm in my own head most of the time, doing my stuff. And
Yep, same.
when you've got a job in a publishing company and a podcast, you kind of, your life is not your own.
I'm just very quiet and hiding corners really, really, really well. I'm a lurker who turns up when he's needed.
Unfortunately, I'm a type that people notice. I always wanted to be the grey man, but unfortunately I have this thing about me that people notice when I'm in the room. It's weird. And even though I try to switch that off at times, it doesn't work. It has the opposite effect. I actually get louder, as in more noticeable. But yeah, I think we needed to see more of Light's charming side, to see how he cultivates these relationships, how the fact that he's now in a position where he's technically got two girlfriends, although neither one is actually his girlfriend. He hasn't committed.
Yeah, one is serious, judicious, comes across as a woman who's going to have a very, very successful career, serious career, and the other one, where being a very smart, judicious kind of lady who also has a successful career, just happens to be a complete psychopath.
With a Shimagazi of her own and a Death Note.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
It's like, I want you to trust me. Here, keep my Death Note. She gives Light her Death Note. Can I say, like one of my favorite bits of the earlier episode is the fact when Rem turns around and tells Light what's going to happen if anything bad happens to Misa.
Yeah, that was because
it's like,
we know that it was Jealous that fell in love with Misa, and that killed him.
Yes,
because he basically defied Shimagazi law and ended himself by saving her life. He gave his life essence basically to Misa, so we don't know how long Misa's going to live. Ren was an observer, but Ren has also fallen in love with Misa. So
the thing I noticed that when Ren was talking about, if I can see the dates of your deaths above your head. If anything happens to her and she dies before that date, I am going to kill you. And it's the fact it shows you Light and Misa through her eyes, but the date's fogged over. It's almost like they deliberately censored the date.
Yeah, they're messing. Obviously, they're not giving it away for us. We're still getting strung along.
I really like that, and it's like, because it's that moment where, for one of the few times in this anime, Light is speechless. He's shocked. He finds himself. He's in a situation that he's got no control over. He can't just like brush it off or think around it. This is like an effectively immortal being saying that if anything happens to this person in front of him, even though he wants her out of his life and out of the scene as quickly as possible because of the danger she poses, can't do anything about it, because if he does, he's a dead man. Because you know for a fact that if something like that happens, Ryuk's not going to lift a finger. He's just there for the entertainment.
Yeah, he's just going to go he, and then take his name back and then bugger off.
Yeah, give the death note to someone else.
That's what I like about Ryuk. Ryuk has basically declared himself, I'm not your friend. I'm not your ally.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
my entertainment. That is it.
if what you're doing doesn't entertain me anymore, I'm basically just going to switch the channel.
Yep. Ryuk's the most
Still,
honest character in this.
wait, what do you mean? He's the best character in this.
This is like a soap opera, you know what I mean? This is his wildest dreams. You know, he thought he'd get a bit of human entertainment.
Mm.
He was not expecting this. And that's why I'm saying even the bit about learning about you can't see another Shimagazi or somebody who has the death notes end of their life. He's learning something new. He's like, wow, this is brilliant. I'm learning stuff as well. You know, he's having the best time of his existence.
I kind of wish he was more of a main character, or more the main character.
I like him the way he is. I just you're just waiting for him when it's his turn to step in. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just Light. Light is so like inanely punchable.
Oh yes. No, the Light we see. If we met the charming Light, we might be swayed by him. That's the problem. We don't get to see that side of him in the show. We're just seeing him in his deepest, darkest thoughts, and he's a twisted being.
So instead of just seeing like Light as we know, we need to see his persona.
Yeah, we need to see that. I think we need to see that to see both sides of him, how he turns on the charm. But at this stage, I think it's too late to see that. We should have seen it at the start. And then see
it's like Light has a very kind of like shocking, dark persona. But because we've seen that literally since episode 1, it's just normal Light.
This is him.
My fight, the fact that Light has got friends, the fact that Light has actually kind of like somehow managed to continue having a girlfriend is the shocking. The normal side of Light is the shocking side of Light.
How do you pull this off when we know what you're like? Like I said, this is one of this is a really good show. I can't wait for you to see the live action.
Oh God, no!
I'm just waiting to hear your head banging off the desk, going, "What the fuck is this?"
You keep threatening me with the live action. I just think Light is like a good old-fashioned, the commoner garden sociopath of the worst type,
who gets handed ultimate power.
Never he's like never like it's kind of like he comes across as the guy like he's never wanted for anything, he's never struggled for anything. It's like he's like won the tennis championship twice won the nationwide tennis championship twice when he was in like junior high school or high school or something like that. Always come top academically, good family, good, nice, solid, like loving family. Never wanted for anything or anything. And then it's kind of like it's almost like a superiority complex. So that when the Death Note falls into his hands, it's like, why, yes, of course this power belongs to me. Who else would it belong to?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
it's like he's kind of like he's as a villain, he's almost like a villain from Power Rangers or some kind of like corny television show like that. Apologies to any Power Ranger fans who are in the audience, but it's just kind of like it's when the Death Note fell into his lap, if he'd have had like a moustache, he would totally have been twirling it. That is the kind of that is the kind of why he hasn't got a monocle. I've got no idea. But it's like that's the kind of if they did a live action version of this years and years and years ago, Light would be played by Terry Thomas. That's just the way he comes across to me. I can't understand how someone who is like that removed from basic humanity actually managed to have not only a social life, but a family life.
No, but that's the enigma, isn't it? That's this
It's
is I
just a
think this is the whole point of this series as well. How well do you know someone? How what you see presented to you is not necessarily the real person. That's just human nature, but this is just
yeah,
damning
but
up the 11.
there's limits because nobody can live a masquerade. They're going to trip up sooner or later.
Well, they always crash and burn. You look at the oh god, what do you call her? Ellen DeGeneres,
Oh, yes,
James Corden,
yes.
other ones like that. The only one he never tripped up was what's his face, Mr. Rogers. We're always waiting for him. Fucking Rolf Harris. There's, what I mean? Jimmy Savile was like, you knew that bloke was dodgy, but Rolf Harris, for fuck's sake.
Do you know what? I shouldn't laugh, but it's the moment where all the newspapers went like, all the newspapers around the country were like, Jimmy Savile has been found. Jimmy Savile has been caused as a suspect for doing illegal things with people he shouldn't be, and every single person in the country just turned around and went, "Yeah, didn't you know?" It's like
But nobody was surprised. Nobody was surprised at all.
He was quite obvious about it, though.
He even said it in interviews. When you see the interviews playing back, you're like, holy fuck, he's telling people. He's telling them out loud.
That's it. He telegraphed it on nearly every show he was on.
Reveled in it. But that was part of his, what he got off on. But that's not light, you know what I mean? The ones that, like I said, the Ellen DeGeneres had their persona. James Corden had his persona. Rolf Harris had his persona. With what I mean, all these people like had a dark side to them, but when it came out, it came out in such a spectacular fashion that.
Yeah, it's I don't think that Light is going to have like a reveal in that kind of way. I think when Light leaves, it isn't going to be with a howl. It's going to be with a whimper.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been years. I know how this ends, and it's been years since I've seen it. But it's not. Yeah, it's. I wouldn't say anticlimactic. It's pretty much how it, runs its course. If that makes sense. But anyway, to prevent Ren from killing him, Light automatically flips this over to, right, well, you've got to kill L.
He's not prepared for the result of that statement, is he? I don't think he seems quite shocked and surprised when Rem turns around and gives him the answer.
Yeah, that completely flew. It was like the bit where it's like the opposite of when L completely flipped out when the possibility of Shimagazi and the supernatural existing in the world. His cold, calculated, logical mind wasn't ready for that. Light was completely unprepared for jealous lovers. He was not ready. He was not even remotely capable. Had the facilities to deal with the fact that you'd have two jealous girlfriends and then a jealous, protective Shimagazi.
Yeah, I wondered. I did wonder if kind of like when he met Misa inside, he expected Misa to be the same as his. because we've stated earlier that it's like we don't know what Misa is. You never see Misa during like her serious moments.
No, but we see Misa. So every time we see Light, we see his inward personality.
Yes.
When we see Misa, we see her outward personality. The thing is, she projects onto everybody.
Innocent bubblehead.
Yep, but there's a bit where she knelt before him. She was like serious. That she's got a little bit of a glimpse into the deep side of her. But everybody else is just her. You know what I mean? She may as well be blonde. The way she throws herself about. That's her outward personality. That's the personality she presents to the world.
Hang on a minute. She's blonde. Misa.
Is she blonde? I thought she had black hair. Or is it with the golf stuff?
No, she's it's like she's goth clothing, blonde hair, with two little kind of like ponytails that stick out sideways.
Oh, so she does.
Because she's goth. She's seriously goth, but she's totally stereotypical blonde bubblehead on the outside.
Oh God, so she is a flipstick with a pigtail. Why did I think she had dark hair? That's me being, yeah. Even has the pigtails. Yeah, sorry, that was me.
It's like.
I didn't look up. It's like your eyes are up here, boy. My eyes are up here, boyo. All right, are they?
Oh, fair enough. Yes.
Fell into that trap. Sorry.
That's another thing. When he's going like, Mum, I don't tell Dad this, but I've got a girlfriend, and his sister's like, oh my God, you've got a girlfriend. How the hell have you managed that? And it's like I can't know. She says something to him, and he's like, well, hotel rooms are really expensive. She puts two and two together, comes with any number she's thinking of, and then Misa knocks on the door. Love it.
But
wow.
Then we're going to. I think this is my favorite episode out of this one. Was Wager. This is just a chaotic episode, and this is Light is not in control of anything.
Yeah,
and he is having a hard time.
He doesn't like not being in control, does he?
No. Which sort of says everything about his personality.
Part of this episode did kind of like jump the gun with me, and it made me tut. I've got to be honest. It's because it's like L's made it's like Light's made his plans with Rem to kill L, and it's like he's got so that they can't track his mobile phone. He's got a mobile phone off Misa. Got a phone off Misa so that he can like contact her, because he's going to meet L at college, because apparently L hasn't been going to college. And it's like he really Light really misses him being there, because apparently Light is L's first and only friend. So he arranges to meet. He arranges to meet L. No, he doesn't. He's walking around the campus with his college girlfriend, and L is kind of like there, crouching on a bench, and he asks his girlfriend, like, "We'll continue this some other time. I want to have a word with this bloke." So, dutiful girlfriend says, "Okay, no problem." Goes off on her own so we can talk. And Light's like, "Yes, I'm talking to him. All I've got to do now is call Misa and get her. Is all I've got to do is like." No, I'm getting this very mixed up, aren't I? He sends college girlfriend away. College girlfriend goes on her way, and he's talking with L. And while he's talking with L, Misa just turns up out of nowhere.
Yeah, That's basically it. You know, she was on a photo shoot nearby.
Yeah, just happened to be nearby and turned up just at the same moment that college girlfriend walked away.
And doesn't even just, she turns up with her entourage as well. You know, it's not like she just secretly rocks up on her own.
And it's like she turns up and everybody's like, oh my God, Squee, it's the famous teen model Misa Misa. And she was surrounded by fans. And he's like, oh, oh, this is my friend Yuzaki. And she looks and she says, Yuzaki, but that's not. And then all her fans turn up.
Mm-hmm.
And someone touches her butt.
This is the bit where Elle goes about Squee as well, and we don't know.
Yeah, this is the bit that made me frown, because it was like, that's like, it's totally against Elle's character to act like that, because Elle is far too like grounded to like be excited by something like a famous teen model or something like that. You'd expect him to be in the same kind of position that Light is with regards to that. Like, it's not the kind of stuff he's into. It's not the kind of stuff he'd
because we've seen this with him, like I said, when the second Kira appears, you know, and mentions Shimagazi, and we'll see him flip out then. So I think that was priming us to see him flip out with Misa. It's not, what is it? Elle wants to connect. Elle is torture genius. If that makes sense. I think Elle would have preferred just to live a normal life.
I think like Elle is Elle. The reason that he's like a consulting detective or whatever he is because he's bored of everyday drudgery.
He just needs a challenge.
That's why he never smiles. He's never got any energy. It's like you never see him doing anything else apart from like eating ice cream and staring at television screens, because it's all he's got. He's got nothing in it. He comes across as the kind of guy who's been there, done that. He's done everything there is to do, and now he's kind of like, I have nothing else to do.
He's almost closer to a Shimagazi than he is a human.
He reminds me of the old-fashioned Sherlock Holmes, who's basically out there solving crimes because he's absolutely, pardoning my French, bored shitless by what life has to offer him. So I honestly think he's solving crimes because he's trying to entertain himself. I don't know if he could actually connect with humanity again.
No, he can't. That's the thing. He would want to, but he can't. He's a torture genius. Light is psychotic. You know, he's a complete sociopath, borderline psychotic. You know, he knows how to do it, but it doesn't mean anything to him. He knows how to go through the motions. Elle would want to, but he can't, because look how he treats his servants like Alfred. You know, Batman and you know, Batman's Alfred. The closest person to him's his manservant, his assistant, who can actually make decisions at all, because he has that sort of.
Could it be that Elle is who Light would have become if Light hadn't found the Death Note? I think we've had this discussion. I'm pretty sure we've had this discussion before.
But that's this is dealing with the dichotomy of personalities, the nature versus nurture, etc. Isn't it necessarily having gifts is not always a blessing. I think Light would love to be able to connect, and this is where the thing with Misa comes out of him. It's something he's managed to connect every so often. It might be the most random thing, but that's, you know, that was his outlet. That's his sort of connection to humanity. But of course, he doesn't know how to do it.
There is kind of like there is a kind of reasoning for why he acts the way he does, and why he suddenly kind of goes like airheaded and starts talking about he'll find the person he'll find the person who touched her, because it's, if you think about it, it's a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's a you find out later it's a distraction tactic, because it's like when Misa's manager comes along and drags her off back to the photo shoot, Light is kind of like, yes, that's it. She's read his name. All I've got to do now is like phone her up and ask her for her name. First, ask her for for El's real name. Slips the secret phone out of his pocket that nobody knows he's got. Dials the number. The phone rings. L whips it out of his pocket and answers it, because the entire like, oh no, I'll find out who touched you, I'll get them, I'll get you back for them, was a total distraction, so that she didn't notice that he'd lifted her mobile.
Yeah.
Right, and that is the bit that made me twitch, because it's like, how would he know to lift her mobile?
He's like Columbo, isn't he?
He hasn't got the dress sense of Columbo.
No, but he's got that. I know who the culprit is. I'm just going to bug them the entire episode.
That's right. If you think about it, if you reverse this and it was being shown from L's side, and like L's like battle of brains against like Light, this is just one big episode of Columbo, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it. Death Note's been ruined for me. I love Columbo. Wow. Yeah, but it's kind of like it's like, how would you know? He reveals it all later on, but at the moment, while he's having this conversation with Light, Misa's being put through the ringer. Which is technically all Light's fault anyway, if you think about it. God.
But this is where I think it's the darkest part, isn't it?
Mm.
So basically, Elle decides, no, basically concludes immediately that she's the second Kira.
It is. I'm gonna say it is. I can't remember if it's in this one or the next one. It's
the end of this one. This is the bit where basically Misu gets grabbed.
It's. I'm pretty sure that even in the worst of cases, you're not actually allowed to like arrest people like that. But
no,
like,
he basically effectively gets her kidnapped, and brings her to.
Yeah, it's like you it's just like you do not have the right to a phone call. You do not have access to attorney. If you do not have attorney, we're not going to give you one. We're just going to gag you. We're just going to gag you, blindfold you, stick you in this bondage chair, tie you up so you can't move, and just ask you questions repeatedly. But blimey. It goes from dark but slightly amusing to seriously dark very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And then even then, she's asking, like, her only thing is she keeps asking Ren to kill her.
Mm. I like the bit. I like the bit where Ren kind of like brushes her hair out away from her face, and Elle sees it happen on the monitor, but apart from like watching a bit more intently, has no reaction to that whatsoever.
I don't think he had that minor flip out a couple of episodes previous.
Mm.
I think he squared all that away, so he's not seeing it as anything. But yeah, this is where Light gets the message through to Misu, basically relinquish ownership of the Death Note, then your memory of everything that's happened will disappear. So you can't be interrogated.
Mm.
And this is where it starts getting like 560 chess, all sorts of mad stuff going on. Misa does that, but it doesn't mean Ren's out of the picture. Ren's like, yeah, you rescue her or I'm coming for you, sort of thing.
It's just like L has escaped again by the skin of his teeth, and I'm like, oh.
And he's put down contingencies as well. If he dies, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Light is to be immediately arrested.
It's just the toing and froing. It's too perfect. It's like, haha, I've come up with a secret plan to kill such and such a person. Haha, but I've come up with a secret plan that if someone tries to kill me, I'm going to tell them to do this. It's too perfect.
It's the samurai, isn't it? It's this, the samurai, the battle in the mind before a single sword stroke happens.
It's something that happens quite a lot with manga. Yeah, it's too scripted.
I'm still enjoying it though. That's the thing, because I'm seeing it. It's just.
I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's not enjoyable. It's
like, have you seen? I'm putting in the likes of. Have you seen professional bowlers, like the 10-pin bowlers?
Yes.
Strike. They're all perfect. And it's basically who makes a mistake. It's not who gets the strike first. It's who makes the mistake first is going to lose. That's how those games play out.
Mm.
I mean, they're knocking 10 pins each time the roll. It's just automatic. They're knocking strikes. They're waiting for the first one to fluff up is the one that loses.
Some of the reasons I don't like 10-pin bowling.
No, it's not an exciting sport to watch. But I'm just thinking that's the best analogy I can think of. That's the game that's being played here.
I want to see more. Like, in order to be like better for me as a viewer, I want more close calls. I don't want it to be like I don't want it to be I've made a plan I made a plan to do this. Haha. Well, I've come up with a plan on my own that if you try to do this is going to like scupper you completely. I want close calls. I want narrow shades.
This episode was basically Light was.
A lot of this is like, rock paper scissors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're playing rock paper scissors, but every time they're just like throwing scissors at each other all the time. So like the ending is completely the same, and it rolls on to the next episode where they throw scissors at each other.
But is that not the nature of this battle? Is that not what it's trying to represent? Like that episode, Wager, Light was completely not in control of anything. Like it could have been like everything he tried, nothing was working out for him.
They should have stretched that over more than one episode.
Mm.
I think they should have made it appear more of a struggle instead of just going like, it's kind of like, oh wait, Misu is here and she wants me to be happy. If you kill L, that will make me be happy. So you'll do that for me. You do that for me, so won't you? Yes.
But then, obviously, L is that clued up. That's what I mean. It's that strike.
Yeah,
You know, these are
it's
people at the top of their game. It's who's going to falter first, and I think that's what this whole series is about with these two. One of them's going to fluff up, and that's going to be the end of it. If they were facing anybody else, which we've seen, they've no chance. You know what I mean? Other mere mortals. This is like a battle of the gods. Perfect beings, you know, don't make a mistake. They're hyper intelligent. They're so intelligent. They're always 5 moves ahead. And they finally met an adversary. It is Moriarty and Holmes.
Or when they do make a mistake, it just so happens that the other side has also made a mistake.
Yeah, just because if that didn't happen, this would be over. I think that's what it's trying to bring across. And the only time this is completely like messed up is when the agent of chaos, i.e. Misa, has got involved, where they have to both recalculate and reconfigure because
see that
she's a wrecking ball. She just comes in and
I think when Misa was introduced, you could have had like an entire series just based on that and the chaos it brought to it.
But I also think she's a type that mere mortals have no chance against. Do you know what I mean?
I think she's a character is definitely a lot smarter than she appears to be.
Oh yeah, it's a whole bubblehead thing's a persona. You know what I mean? That's 100% a persona. We know that. Like there's a dark, like I said, where light project. We see the private moments. We see her outgoing moments. You know what I mean? That's the interesting thing. L's just L. He's never felt the need.
I've got to be honest. This anime needed a character like Misa. Just because it's kind of like it's so dark, and the main no detriment to the two main characters are so dark and miserable and devious. You need someone to bring that little bit of sunlight in the story, because otherwise it's like the anime itself. I know anime that do this. There are animes out there that are so dark and so relentless that they destroy your will to watch it, which is a shame because in a lot of them the payoff is absolutely amazing.
But it's these people are operating above the rate. Everyone else is just a spectator. They're just along the ride. That's the point.
You need a character to bring it back down to the level of us regular mortals.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because you're like
that's Misa. Because it's like Misa bounds in. You're like, oh, a good-looking lady.
And we don't know what, like, they both have to adjust their plans. They just don't know how to react there. And she's the force of nature. Yep, that's it. You just can't. You can try and sort of go with it, but yeah, you're not fighting against it. You're not changing it. But then this is where it goes. Yeah, these two episodes.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. It's like Decision. No, I'm not a fan. I think this is the worst for me. This is the worst episode of the lot so far. Because it's I think it's like the things that happen in this episode. You didn't need a whole episode.
Yeah, never mind two. This is where the thing does like this. This anime is not in a rush, and it doesn't mind whether you're happy with it or not. It's going to tell its story in its own pace.
It's kind of sometimes it does feel like it's in a rush. Sometimes there are episodes where a hell of a lot happens in them, but it's like not these next two. I think like the one that comes. This is Decision. The one that comes after this, Execution. towards the end is really, 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 really intense, really good story writing.
Yeah, but this one decision is just basically, right, Light says, well, lock me up too. And then
Because
Chief Yagami is like, well, if you're locking him up, lock me up too.
it's like it's the fact that Light goes to Ellen. He's like, I think I might be Kira. I might be Kira. I'm not sure. Please lock me up.
And this is after he relinquishes his own Death Note?
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay, what's going on?
It's all a bit. It kind of goes weird. I think I need to watch these 2 episodes again to let it actually sink in and see what's happening.
So
because he has that talk about relinquishing his death note. Yeah. About he has a talk with Rook about we've buried the death note here. When I tell you to get it, I want you to get it and take it away. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not quite sure what's going on in this bit.
No, I think it's obviously going to get revealed, but yeah, it's all very. So effectively, you've got Misu, you've got Light, and you've got Chief Yagami all locked up in cells, and this is supposed to be over the period of over a month.
Yeah, 55 days they're locked up. By the end of the next episode, Execution, they have been locked up for 55 days.
Yeah, and both Shimigamis have been tasked or been made part of this plan before it happened.
Yeah.
And at that point, yeah, everyone's starting to break down, and Light's at the point where he's like, okay, as I need to, my pride, he uses the code word. Oh, I need to get rid of it. And that's where Ryuk then disappears.
Yeah. But it's like, if he's supposed to forget everything, he still has memories about them. And the fact that Misa was the second Kira. See, it's just kind of like something about these episodes doesn't make sense to me.
No, I'm the same out of it.
It might just be something I've missed, like something I did. Like I said, I'd like to watch them again. It might be something I've missed.
I think it was a switch at the end of Wager. I think it was that switch of all of a sudden Misa's getting locked up, like at the end of that episode, and now everybody's locked up, and nobody has a death note because obviously they want their memories. They've done it to get rid of their memories so that any sort of interrogation doesn't work. L knows something's going on, but he can't deal with it. The supernatural, spurs that just don't figure into his psyche whatsoever. So he doesn't know what he's dealing with. So this does not compute with him.
It feels tangled. I understand what's happening. It's like they're finishing off one plot line so they can start with another. And it's kind of like it's a much of like tying up all the loose ends and making it so all the main characters can carry on doing what they're doing. But it just feels like it's being done in a really messy kind of way.
Yeah, but this show's not messy, so
I know it's like these episodes to me, they really dragged. They were really slow episodes, but the story still feels rushed.
there's a lot going on. That's with the movement of the Death Notes, like giving the Death Note back, that's a major event. So to be given
Because
two Death Notes back
like,
and two
it's like,
Shinigamis to be tasked independently to do
yeah.
what they're doing.
So it's like Misa has lost their powers. We know this because we later learn that Misa's Death Note is Rem has given Misa's Death Note to someone else
Mm-hmm.
under orders of light, presumably.
Well, that's the set up the second plan that who is Kira? Oh, it's a conglomerate. It's not just an individual. And the murders, the criminal murders have been there to distract the police from this company getting rid of basically competitors. So their share prices will go up. That's where it came back down to earth. But that's hold on. That's way. Hang on, we've jumped ahead.
That's the last episode of this set, ally.
Yeah, we've jumped ahead there. Sorry. Yeah, this whole thing is just wrecking everybody with basically going against human rights and just imprisoning people. And even the fact that someone like Misa, who's a famous model, is in a dungeon now, and because she's relinquished the Death Note, she just thinks it's a stalker. Then basically L asks for Chief Yagami to come up because he wants to basically put his final plan to him. And that's where basically the whole roleplay thing comes out, where basically Chief Yagami is pretending that he's driving them to their execution.
See, this I thought was brilliant writing. It moved the plot forward. It's kind of like the plot seemed to have stalled, and all of a sudden, it's giving it all gone throttle to the floor.
Do you think do you think it was deliberate though? I don't see this as a badly written show. I think it has purpose.
No, I totally think it was deliberate. I just think it's like
I think we're meant to feel those 55 days. I think that was the purpose of the episode. We're meant to feel the length of time. It wasn't just a weekend. It wasn't a week. We're meant to feel that this is a stupid amount of time to have somebody in prison. Like anybody, this would break anybody. Be like it's effectively torture, like sensory deprivation in terms of Misa. It's like she's been blindfolded, bound, and gagged, and.
Right, it's meant to make time feel. May I introduce you to an anime called The Melancholy of Suzuka Himiya? Melancholy of Suzuka. Oh, never mind. Right, there's an anime in which there is a time slip episode, yeah, where they basically replay the same episode 8 times in a row. Each time they win the episode, it has a slightly different outcome until they escape the time loop. But it's the same episode 8 times in a row.
Okay.
That caused the world to burn when they did that, and I kind of get it's although it's like a much lesser extent. That's what I get from this.
Because it's like it's the length of time.
If it's meant to make the length of time feel long, it does indeed do that. For me, not in a pleasant way.
But I don't think it's meant to be. Like grabbing someone off a street and chaining them up and only speaking to them through a camera and effectively torture them for 55 days is not meant to be done in a pleasant way. This was dark, it's L's frustration as drove him to this.
It didn't need 2 episodes, though.
I think it did, because this could have went on for like 6 episodes of just the imprisonment. I think you had to feel it.
God, I am so glad it did.
I think you had to feel the length of time. That's my argument, because
like
It threw me as well, but
if something was happening in the meantime to make it feel as if the plot was going somewhere, then I'd completely agree with you. But
we're
it's
getting this.
just the fact,
Yep.
it's just the fact that it's 2 episodes of it's 2 episodes of full stop. I understand that nothing can happen because Light and Misa, the two protagonists, well, 2 of the 3 protagonists, if you include L, are in prison and nothing can happen to them. And there's little glimpses of what happening outside, because you see the occasional little bit of what Rem's doing. Look is completely out there. You've got no idea what's happening, no idea which direction the plot is going. It's like, has Light relinquished his powers, or are they still there and Rook's just out of the way? Like keeping out of the way, making sure that everything is being kept safe, so that when Light finally gets released, he can pick up like being Kira again.
Yeah, but don't know. It's meant to throw us, I think.
His name's in the death note now to die over the weekend.
Once again, it's back to this. For everyone makes a perfect move. I mean, you're dealing against people. It's it's all these moves getting made. It just takes one slip up, and we are not privy to it. I think that's what it's trying to bring across as well. Yeah, I like personally this did slow down, but I did get it. I got the idea that this we needed to feel that length of time. It needed to show the extremes that this is prepared to go to, both sides. And even Light, like playing about with relinquishing the death notes, he doesn't know if he'll get it back. That could be it, and all this is for nothing.
No, but
that's the stakes.
There will be a perfect plan in the background where he's discussed all this with Rook in advance. Because it's Light, and that's what Light does. Light has an answer for everything. If he's sitting there studying and the light bulb in his light goes out, he'll be like, haha, I've already thought what's going to happen here. Can I have a second light switch to a second light?
Yeah, that's
what Light does. He plans for everything, and nothing he ever plans is wrong.
It's the immovable object versus the unstoppable force.
It is. It's like Light and L are 2 unstoppable objects. It's like neither of them gets anything wrong. There's slight wrinkles in their plans, like chaotic Misa turning up, but it doesn't change anything. We know that whatever is being planned will turn out perfectly.
But
there's no question of that, because that's how L and Light operate.
So we're just waiting for the slip up. Like I said, back to the boulders. Strike. You're just waiting for that one mistake. It's a samurai. You know, the 2 samurai face each other. And they're all playing the mind game, and it's just the one sword stroke. That's what it's down to. Who flinches first, who loses the concentration. It's that's what we're witnessing here. It's that sort of battle. One of them will mess up, and then it's over. I mean,
for me, at the moment, where we are at the moment, I have no anticipation for what happens next, because it will, whatever it is, it will either benefit. It will, whatever it is, Light will come out on top.
But it's not going to be like that forever. You know what I mean? It can't be. This.
Oh no! Well, no. It's like Here is how I see how this anime is structured. Yeah, it's like you have 2 immovable objects. Yeah, slamming against each other. every time they slam against each other, cracks form. But it's like, so sometime soon, maybe not until the last episode, one of the immovable objects is going to break.
Or chip
And
into a crack, and that's all it takes.
you don't know which one. It's just a matter, you have to watch all the episodes to find out which one happens at the end.
Yeah, and that's
the story is absolutely brilliant. But if you want to know what happens in the end of this anime, watch the last episode, because there's going to be no hints of it happening until then.
yeah, it's just
It's the entire series is the lead up to an epic battle. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it. I'm just saying it that, like, these two episodes peeved me a little bit because of the pacing.
It just
Because
changed.
the entire series, the entire series, it is a very slow, detailed story. But the entire series up to the beginning of Decision has been it's been packed. Not a lot has happened, but the information that you've been receiving from mainly from Light and L, the information you've receiving, it's being crammed in there that you actually it's almost like you have to take notes or watch an episode twice in order to get all the information it's giving it.
Yeah, because you're seeing their Light's moves, you're seeing L's moves, and they're how they're gonna trying to
but it's
each other.
Like when you hit Decision and Execution, most of which takes place in like essentially a prison block, suddenly there's a complete drought of all this information, and it takes all the it takes all kind of like all the speed, all the anticipation, all like the mental juggling out of this episode.
Yeah,
But it's all gonna come back.
well, it does come back when Chief Yagami basically drives them to their execution, and then he decides the kinder thing to do is for me just to shoot you.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm taking you to an execution chamber that's built under the ground. L's decided that you're Kira and second Kira, and so in order to make the world a better place again, we're going to have to kill you. Drives into the middle of the field under a bridge. Only I've decided that I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to kill myself. Because if anybody should kill their son, it should be their father. It's a brilliant scene. It's like the entire thing where they're driving along, because it's kind of like, oh, is he going to let them go? Is he going to tell them to go on the run?
No.
Is he going to be like, look after each other, you're on your own now, that kind of thing?
Here's two backpacks, go, sort of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And it's like it's that moment where it's like you pick yourself up again, and you're like, oh, what's this? What's happening?
Yep. We've got that plays out, and basically Al was watching through a hidden camera right the last second. So because they both relinquished their death notes, have no memory, so that the react as it would react, and that was the whole gamble. That basically, if Misu was second Kira, she would have killed her father, Light's father. Light probably wouldn't have killed his father. But Misa definitely would have.
But the thing is, though, none of L's side, kind of like Light's father or anything like that, actually knows about the death notes. They think they can just kill.
Yeah, they don't know how. I mean, they don't know how the power works, but that's immaterial.
Because I like that. That is one of the things that I like in this. They're literally just guessing.
Yeah, because if they knew about it, that's the end of the story reveal. Or if they ever find out about the death note, that's that's never going to be found out, or else the whole series is bust. So that's fair enough. So they're still trying to guess what this power is or how it works or operates. They just know it exists and somebody's wielding it. Then we get this weird scene. It's almost, I think it's to bring us down after that heavy episode and a half of all the heaviness is that L still won't relinquish. He basically wants to be chained to Light, the handcuffs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think Light is almost grateful because Misa wants to get down and dirty and jiggy and having Elders kind of cramping her style. And I think Light in the back of his head doesn't want to get down and jiggy with her because
Well,
I think he knows that if he does it once, that's it.
Yeah, because L does say like, do you when she gets like kicked out of the meeting room when they're all talking, and she's like, he turns like L turns to Light and says like, do you have any kind of romantic feelings for this girl whatsoever? And he's like, nope, that's totally one-sided.
Yeah. I think he just sees fatal attraction, you know what I mean?
It's like my bunny is well and truly boiled. Oh, it's yeah, it's weird, but it's like the fight scene is the greatest part of this. It's like this is probably where they got the idea for chain fighting from, I think. Because we just have, it's like L, like we say, L is depressed because it looks as if Light isn't going to be Kira, at which point Light punches him because he's sad that he's not the bad guy. The highlight of the fight is when Misa steps in Cake. I actually expected her to grab a hold of the both of them and kick them out of the room.
No, it's just
See, but it's kind of like, it's like all of a sudden, I wouldn't. It's like now we've had like 2 episodes of like relative darkness. The fight scene is kind of like a comic episode to bring people back in line.
Yeah, just to get us back on board again because that got too grim, and yeah. Also, we've glossed over the fact that L is basically in the time that everyone's been locked up. He's built a skyscraper, like not just a building, but a full-on skyscraper.
It's like damn. It's like the what's it? It's right. 55 days to build a skyscraper. That is impressive work right there.
Yeah, and not just built the skyscraper, but it's custom made with security features and all furnished, everything.
Everything made of glass. So instead of like hopping like hotel rooms every few days, presumably they're just going to like move to another floor.
Yeah, and the whole floor, like Misa has a floor to herself. You know,
it's not a bad deal, is it?
Not a bad way to live. It just
we
shows
expect that you might be some kind of like super criminal who can kill people just by looking at them. Have a luxury apartment. It's the entire floor.
Yeah. But also shows as well, L, for example, doesn't need to go to college. He's just doing it for putting on a facade.
I think
he doesn't need to solve crimes. He's obviously super rich.
The entire reason he went to college in the first place was to confront Light.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, yep.
Which is which is cool.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. These people, even Light, the only thing that's constrained him is his family. You know, his family life. That he's young, he's not at that age yet. But these people don't operate in the normal world. I think that's what we're getting. You know, that's the whole point of this. These people operate outside society. Society's rules don't apply to any of them. Just with Light getting the death note, that just sped things along. But yeah, them have this.
Sorry, I guess I'd love to see a spin-off where someone normal got hold of the death note.
But they've said that, but I think they've mentioned that nothing exciting happens. Most of them are usually done after 3 days.
And see, I'm going to say I haven't got an extensive list of people I'd like to kill.
Just go on TikTok.
No, I watched it. My new phone came with TikTok installed. I watched it for about an hour and then uninstalled it.
Yeah, just go on, or even X, you know what I mean? Just, if you want to watch it, just go on social media and go to any comment section, fucking Facebook comment section. On any subject, there's always that lunatic, and it's just like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, what part of any of this are you getting angry about?
Look at this idiot doing this. And it's like, well, that idiot is like quite obviously AI because you can see where it's screwed up there. Look at this idiot doing this. Yeah, that's obviously AI as well. Look, oh no, look at this happening to this AI. Most of the stuff on TikTok seems to be AI.
Yeah, it's just
or moronic.
But that's the, you know, the user base. But then you've got the ones that shouting cars and stuff, you know. Rah, I hit the word. Rah, and you're like, okay, yep.
I don't do social media.
No, it's if it wasn't for the channel, I wouldn't be on it. Honestly,
I've got to be honest. I mean, I don't do social media. To be quite honest, I'm not very good at social.
No, it's yeah. If it wasn't for honestly just trying to get folks on board with the channel, I just wouldn't. It's the random angry people that you're like, what part of this conversation is worth that level of emotion? You even see it during movie reviews and stuff. Like people get proper lose their mind. You're like, it's
I've got to be honest.
You liked it, I didn't.
Okay, I've got to be honest. So far this year, I've been quite good at random angry. But it's just kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like I've got like 3, maybe 4 people that I might have once upon a time been unhappy enough with to be like, your name is also going in the book. You know, it's what would that tell me kind of thing.
No, I have a few people.
Hello, Chris. We're ranting about Death Note.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is this block of episodes is just everyone's making their move, and it's always counteracted. Make a move, counteracted, and then we have Misu, and then this is where it goes strange. But then we'll say the Rem has basically been following a plan. We've now got this company.
Like when she introduced when they introduce the plan, it's when she introduces the plan, it's pretty obvious she's following Light's orders in order to save Misa. And it's a bit where she bases that she's just like looking on with a look of utter disgust on her face, and she's like, humans disgust me.
Humans disgust me too. Like, this is not the evil boardroom of absolute megalomaniacs is not a meme or a trope. We see it every day. There's no shortage of.
Well, yeah, it's like every boardroom ever, but without the ability to cause death in people you want to die. It's
yeah.
Mm.
But this is what it's down to: is basically we need a scapegoat. So this is building the scapegoat.
Mm.
Light understands that L is completely perplexed because there's nothing there to point in anybody else's direction.
Mm.
So now we've got to build, he's got to lay the breadcrumbs out.
Mm.
And then the task force gets shut down. Because this is where the bribes come in, as in, well,
I
if
say
you do what you're told,
that
your name
right,
will be in the vote.
that surprised me when it happened, but only until the reason behind it was explained.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, politicians have been told that if they shut the task force down or don't do anything to try and stop Kira, they won't be killed.
And I'm one of those politicians. Yep, self-serving arseholes. So yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's really, really bad. But then again, at the same time, I do understand it. Because if someone came up to me and said, stop doing this or die, I'd be tempted not to. Got to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it's
situational ethics.
And especially if you're like, most politicians, in fact, 99.9% of them are just self-serving scum anyway.
Obviously, rich and spineless. Mm.
So no surprise there. Oh, I'll do it. Suits me. Yep.
I'm like, wow. It's like, yeah, once the reasoning behind it came out, it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, I understand. So what do our brave, bold policemen do in the face of that?
Well, the only one that...
Yeah, the only one who doesn't.
The only one that has any sort of quandaries is the young one with the family.
Oh, I was going to call him Afro Guy.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, because he's like the others are kind of like the others are like putting themselves in. Well, they're putting themselves in Kira's sights. And
No,
it's
it
like
was not there. It's the fact that they leave their job, that they've, their pensions, their etc. It's out the window. That was purely financial.
You can't blame him for doing that, though. I mean, like you say, the guy's got a young family.
No, but that was Zell's test. His final one of his tests to them, because it was his assistant, his Alfred type character. Is like, oh, hang on, is this the time to mention that you'd set aside trust funds for each of these people? It was almost like he chimed in at the right moment when instructed to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Read the last minute, and the fact that he was about to break meant, yep, that was it. You failed the test.
You can't like Elk. He's quite a thoroughly unlikable chap.
He basically, you have to be a cultist. You effectively have to be a cultist to follow him. But then again, if you're a cultist, you're no use.
It begins with C, but cultist is definitely not the word I was thinking of.
No, but to follow L, you have to be like an acolyte. You have to be a worshipper. Completely.
You have to believe. You have to believe in what he's trying to do.
But at the same time, if you were like that, you don't have the skills that he needs. Because if you're just a blind follower, then you're not analytical enough to be useful to him on his team. Because he would expect you to analyze him. You know what I mean? It's not operating at another level. That's what I mean. That basically the mere mortals, like the task force, aren't really useful. They're more like window dressing to make him feel normal. But it's like a Greek mythology, the humans trying to interact on the will of the gods, that usually have their situations because one god shagged another one and made another one jealous, and all of a sudden humans are going to war because something random happened. That's how any of them have control of their life. Like they've really no purpose there whatsoever. apart from fetching and carrying, maybe.
Hmm.
But oh, sorry, Ezra. Yeah, it was Ezra
Bob?
sort of broke, and then he's sitting with his family. Just realized, just feels shame that he's, he failed. So I don't think his story's quite over yet. He's maybe a wild card in the future. Mm.
I wonder. He's or is it oh god, or is he just another one of these characters that they've just kind of like, right, he's finished, we're done with him now.
I don't think they would have kept because they'd have just had him leave. I don't think they would have had the scene with him in the park bench with his daughter and his wife, and I'm feeling the shame that he does if they were just going to write him off. He'd have been like the last one that just left.
Yeah, because those two just those two just I've thought about that. Those two just disappeared, didn't they?
Yeah, but the fact that Ezra's sitting there on the park bench feeling shame for his actions shows that he might be a player in the future. He's going to come in again. But then we've got the two new characters, the con man and the thief that's been brought in, whose names I
Not
can't
gonna lie,
remember.
I think were they given names?
They might have been fake names. I don't know. I can't remember. Just the man, and the woman. She's
Because I just
cat burglar.
yeah, it's like these are the new people you're going to be working with. It's like he's a con man, she's a thief. It's like he's got like the social grace. He can talk his way into anywhere. She's there's nothing she can't unlock, lock, or hack or get access to.
Hence how she broke into the building in the first place. So these are basically they've tried using the law. Now they're going to use the criminals, which makes sense.
Yeah,
They've now got consulting criminals as well as consulting detectives.
It is. It's honestly it's in the next episode. Bernadette Humble Snatch will turn up.
But it's not throwing. It's the throwing the curveball. Coming from the unexpected angle.
It's the new. It's basically like they're waving something new in our faces to interest us. It's like, look at this new shiny thing we've got. Where's this going to go? Basically, the audience is cats, and like the entire anime itself is a cat toy that every so often just like waggles something new in front of you. I'm not complaining. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes.
Well, the fact that it's went beyond the normal 12 episodes. It's not your standard show anyway. But yeah, there you go. That was an interesting one. It was quite a few twists and turns and like changes of pace and everything, all in this period of 6 episodes.
It's amazing how quickly this anime kind of like swaps from one. Well, like just when you think you've got a handle on it and you know what kind of anime it is, it does something completely different and completely new and changes the angle.
Yeah, that's why I'm enjoying it, because it's you're not just predictably going along with, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. This is any other show, this would have been already finished, the battle between them.
Yeah, for me, it was just the speed of those 2 episodes.
Yeah, it felt like
it's not the end of the world. It was just a bit of a blemish on this 6. Because I expected the story to continue at the pace that it was continuing, that it was already going at, and it just kind of like slammed the brakes on for 2 episodes.
And I do think it was deliberate because you needed to, you don't imprison somebody for 55 days. You have to feel that. You have to feel like time's just stopped. I think that was purposely. Maybe that part of the storyline could have went out, but then we're getting set up for something else. So that 55 days was to put the plan in motion. Because we know that deaths have still been happening throughout the 55 days, just not the normal ones.
And I say, it's like Kira. It's like thus you say, it's like since Light's been in prison, the deaths have stopped. And then, like a fortnight later, all of a sudden, people start dying again.
And this is where we're seeing the pattern leading us to Yotsuba. You know, it took that amount of time to lay that trail. And I think we had to feel that amount of time pass, because then it would have felt too quick and too contrived. I don't know. I'm just trying to make. I don't think these are bad writers, and I think they're doing it with purpose. So I'm just trying to figure out the purpose, and it mightn't get revealed later on. But I do believe those 2 episodes were deliberately paced like that, not just it wasn't a mistake.
See, I wonder what they're like in the manga.
Be interesting. Maybe not at the moment. I'm bloody skint. I've spent too much money this month. But
read it free online.
Just bought a bunch of Cthulhu books there.
Okay.
Monday, 2 days ago.
Nothing wrong with Cthulhu books.
Got them bundle things. But yeah, I do believe I do believe it's done with purpose. I'm not seeing any laziness. I'm not seeing any sloppiness with the telling of the story. I do believe it has a purpose. The pacing as well.
It kind of feel. I mean, the last one, no, not the last one. The one before the last one, Execution, is definitely a transition episode.
Yep.
It's like we're moving from like the first story to the second story.
Yeah, and then the new headquarters and what the next phase is going to be, and the introduction of the new characters. That's how it's going to move forward. Yeah, I can see that. But they needed something then extreme, because they're obviously not going to wrap up. The L and the Light battle has to carry on. So they needed something dramatic. So yeah, locking everybody up and like getting to the point of, yeah, this is how we do it, or this is how we point to somebody else. Yeah. Like I said, it might take a few episodes to look back and go, oh, that's why they did that. We might get it in the next one, or it might be, we'll see how it transpires out. But yeah, we're back next week anyway with us. We're not waiting 2 weeks this time, because this one was pushed back a week. So so we'll be back next week with it. So we'll find out quicker than what we thought.
Then I better get watching.
Yep. But we're back again on Wednesday. We're carrying out the next session of Chill, I do believe.
We are.
So we will be back playing games. And I've got a workaround, I think, because I tried it in another channel. If I open up, I was able to do it with Roll20. If I open up the laptop rather than run through the computer, it can work. So I'm thinking I'll go to play about with it, actually. I might be able to bring that in via this, so it's not run off the same processor, so Forge won't go wibble. We'll see anyway. I think I've got it that it'll be a bit smoother than last time.
We will find out.
Yep.
Fingers crossed.
But if you want to help me get a new computer, folks, we do sell merchandise and books, and everything's in the description. Get a couple of 100 book sales. I might be able to upgrade my, even get that one repaired. Because the carcass, you know what I mean, it's just the party. I don't know if the hard drive went as well, but if that can be restored, it might bring me back to normal, or else it's a brand new one anyway. But nah. Anyway, I'm rambling. This was fun anyway, even with the weird episodes. It's great to get back and talk about these again.
Weird episodes.
Yep. But Flea Buddy, thanks for turning up as always. Thanks for everybody for
Always a
joining
pleasure,
us.
sir.
Yep. And just leaves me to say, until next time, keep up to date with the channel, do the type of clicky things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.